English step by step, present continuous, step 2. So let's look more at the form of the present continuous. Now here we're looking at negatives. Now to make a negative, we add not to the auxiliary verb. Normally, when speaking, we use contractions. Now, the auxiliary verb, remember, is am, is, are. I am, you, he is, you are. So to make the negative, we add I am not, he is not, you are not. And we make contractions. So let's look at the contractions here. I am, negative, I am not. So you make a contraction by putting two words together like this. I'm, I am, I'm. He is, he's. That's another contraction. They are, they're. That's another contraction. So let's look at these in writing. You are not, changes to you're not. Now here, it's possible to make two contractions. You could say you're not or you aren't. Both of these are very common. You're not, you aren't. She is not, you can say she's not or she isn't. It is not, you could say it's not or it isn't. We are not, you can say we're not or we aren't. They are not, they're not, or they aren't. So let's look at some examples in sentences. First example, I'm not enjoying the film. You're not listening or you aren't listening. She's not getting better or she isn't getting better. It's not raining or it isn't raining. We're not staying or we aren't staying. They're not driving or they aren't driving. So let's just look at these again. I'm not enjoying. You're not listening. You aren't listening. She's not getting better. She isn't getting better. It's not raining. It isn't raining. We're not staying. We aren't staying. They're not driving. They aren't driving. So let's move on and look at how to make questions in the present continuous. To make questions, we have to use inversion. To make questions, we invert the subject and the auxiliary verb. Inversion, what does that mean? It just means changing the position of the words. I am, if you invert it, it becomes am I. You are, with inversion, are you. I am I. You are you. He is he. It is it. We are we. They are they. And it's the same with names of people as well. For example, John is John. They are. Well, John and Mary are. Are John and Mary? So, and also with things. The car is. Is the car? The bus is. Is the bus? Or the shops are. Are the shops? So, in these examples we can see pronouns. But you can also use the inversion with other words. Let's look at some examples here. Am I making sense? And you can also make negative questions by putting the negative word not after the subject. Here, for example, am I not making sense? Are you coming? Are you not coming? Is she studying? Is she not studying? Is it snowing outside? Is it not snowing outside? Are we staying? Are we not dancing? Are they driving? Are they not finishing now? So there you have questions with the inversion of the subject and the auxiliary verb. We can also make questions with question words. Question words like what, where, how, when, why, how long, how many, what time, what day, etc. So you also use inversion, and you put the question word before the inversion. For example, where am I? What are you? Who is she? Why is it? When are we? How are they? So you can see the inversions here. Am I? Are you? Is she? Etc. Let's look at some examples in sentences. Where am I going? Now you can also make negative questions with question words. For example, why is it not working? Next one. What are you doing? Why is she not coming? Who is she meeting? Why are they not staying? Why is it making that noise? When are we having lunch? How are they getting here? So we've looked at negatives and questions. So now let's move on to look more at the meaning and the use of the present continuous tense. So let's look at some examples of statements, negatives and questions. In these examples, we use present continuous for actions that are happening at the time of speaking. For example, please be quiet, we're studying. She's in bed, but she isn't sleeping. There's a negative example. What about a question? Are the kids enjoying the film? So in this case, you don't say, do the kids enjoy the film? Because you're talking about something now, a situation now. So you use the present continuous, are the kids enjoying the film? Now, in the next examples, we use present continuous for actions that are happening around the time of speaking, but not necessarily at this moment. For example, I'm watching a good TV series these days. Now, maybe not right at this moment, but I'm watching a good series these days. So when you use an expression about around the present moment, for example, these days, then you use the present continuous. Another example, the football team is not winning any matches this season. So this season is a temporary period, so you can use the present continuous. Next one. Are they doing research into the virus? And that means currently or during this temporary period. Now, you often hear or see the present continuous in news reports or in any kind of reports. Now, this is because when we use present continuous, we are talking about changes, trends, fashions, and tendencies. So, for example, if you make a graph or if you make a chart, you are describing in a picture something that is changing. And you can see sentences like this. The global temperature is rising. Or you could also say increasing or going up. So when you're talking about something like the population or prices or profits or any numbers, you can make a sentence like this. The global temperature is rising. Number two, unfortunately, the situation isn't improving. So if you talk about something changing in quality, for example, improving or deteriorating or increasing in quality, then you can make a sentence like this. Are things getting better? So getting better or getting worse, also describing changes with the present continuous. The next one, the company is making a profit. So that's a change in the profit. So that brings us to the end of step 2. We've looked at some more examples of the form with the negatives and questions. So now move on to step 3, where you can do some practice exercises.